Well, the name of this show is Yuri on Ice. All the main characters are actually men, so you shouldn't expect any Yuri to happen. But is this show worth it anyway? Should you watch Yuri on Ice? Yuri on Ice is a character-driven sports anime about figure skating, focusing on Katsuki Yuri, a Japanese skater reeling from a crushing defeat at the Grand Prix final. Returning home, he plans to quit, until a viral video of his skating catches the eye of his very idol, Viktor Nikiforov, who ends up becoming his coach. The show then follows Yuri's journey to rebuild his confidence and compete again, mixing intense practice sessions with self-discovery and mentorship. While the skating takes a backseat to emotional growth, a mix of serious drama and lighthearted comedy keeps the tone balanced and engaging. The show is usually serious, but every now and then it lightens up with some comedic part.
どこだここはビクター
And less serious animations. Those parts aren't overdone and never overstay their welcome, so they lighten up the mood very well. Katsuki Yuri, the Japanese Yuri.
Yuri
僕の名前は勝木優里。どこにでもいる日本のフィギュアスケート特別強化選手で23歳。強そうな名前だけど初グランプリファイナルで最下位。現実がまだ受け止めきれないよ。
Literally, the guy who inspired him to start ice skating defeated him in the finals of the Grand Prix Championship, and that devastated him so much that he just gave up on himself for a year. You see, Yuri was inspired to skate after seeing Viktor 10 years ago. So is it really surprising that Viktor, with a decade more experience, beat him? Well, Yuri still takes it as a crushing failure. And not only that, don't forget that even participating in the Grand Prix final means that you are at the very top, you're the best of the best. But he's like, oh no, I placed last among the best of the best in the entire world. Clearly that means I am a failure and should just stop. He doesn't have much faith in himself and calls himself a dime a dozen ice skater. He doubts his decisions and lacks confidence, so he just succumbed to stress eating and let himself go the night before the championship. And well, you can see the result right now.
ちょっと服脱ぎな。やだやだ、みんなも
なんやお母さんにそっくりばい。
お父さん。
And just so you know, Yuri respected Viktor so much that he perfectly learned his routine after losing the championship, which is why Viktor became his coach. Maybe he had intended to give up ice skating after his loss, but now that he has a coach, one that he truly looks up to, he gives it at least one more shot. Viktor Nikiforov. So I never met a Russian professional ice skater, but it does make me wonder, are they all as touchy as this? Viktor is 27 and he is more or less the best ice skater there currently is. He won championship after championship and medal after medal, 5 in a row to be precise, 5 world championships. He surprises the audience every single time and that got him many fans. But when he saw Yuri skate his own set, his own arrangement, he felt something new and decided to become Yuri's coach. That of course didn't make his rivals and other competitors happy, since what's the point if you want to beat someone and then that someone just doesn't participate in a championship? Yuri Plisetski, the Russian Yuri. At just 15 years old, he won the junior championship, and now it's time for his debut as a senior. He is very much considered a rising star and is the youngest skater in this year's Grand Prix. And let's just say he doesn't like the Japanese Yuri because, well, he too wanted Viktor all for himself. But instead, all he got was the new nickname of Yurio.
この子もユーリって名前なのよ。ああ、紛らわしいな。じゃああんたはユリよ。
He is considered a punk, but I think punk and ice skating just doesn't quite fit together.
ユーリ・プリセツキ。ロシアンヤンキーが僕をゴミを見るような目で見ているよ。何？
おい。
His looks and grace made sure he has a very big fan club, which is pretty much at every performance of his. He has the talent and the willingness to practice, And while he seems prickly and insults Yuri, he actually wants to get along with him as a rival and a friend. The dynamic movements of the skating look really good, and I quite like the backgrounds and the visuals all in all. They also did the glittering of the skaters' outfits well, and I'm sure that took a lot of effort. As for the music they used, a lot of it feels like copyrighted stuff, so I won't even try to play it, because I would just get copyright struck into oblivion. The voice work and the background audio also very good.
耐えられないこの罪悪感。おはようユーリ。海にでも行こうか。は
The intro is spoiler free and you just see all the 3 main characters ice skating. It's pretty stylized and only shows a scene that never actually happens in the show. As for the outro, it follows the same style as the intro, just showing the 3 characters goofing around, but also shows the social media photos and posts of other skaters who will appear later in the Grand Prix. You can watch them both without worrying for any spoilers, but the songs they picked, while being just fine, were not my taste. Yuri on Ice has a score of 7.9 by 550,000 people. And with 246 recommendations, 48 mixed feelings and 27 not recommended reviews, clearly it was rather well enjoyed among the MAL reviewer crowd. But just as one of those reviews said, the pacing is quite off. The characters could use more breathing room and you can never really tell how much time passed. It could have used more time to let things naturally develop, maybe 4 to 6 episodes more. This isn't a deal breaker for the show, but it would have made it even better. Studio MAPPA. That should say everything you need to know. Attack on Titan, Jujutsu Kaisen, Vinland Saga, to name just a few recent ones they made. They are a capable studio and they deliver. So, who's the show for? Yuri on Ice is pretty good if you like character-driven stories with emotional depth. It's got romance vibes without being over the top, so fans of subtle relationships will also like it. Not a sports fan? Well, I'm not either, but no worries. The focus on Yuri's journey makes it relatable for anyone who ever doubted himself. With one season of 12 episodes, Yuri on Ice tells a pretty good story about competitive ice figure skating and is worth watching at least once, though the rushed pacing might make it less enjoyable if you decide to watch it again. Haikyuu, a volleyball anime with a blend of intense sports and personal growth. It follows Hinata Shoyo, a short but scrappy player as he teams up with a rival to chase national glory. And Uma Musume, a show about horse girls running races and chasing their dreams, success, failure, personal growth and idol dance shows. I made a whole video for this one if you're interested. And now that the milestone number of episodes has been reached, I will include my top 9 recommendations of all the shows I've watched and introduced so far. Hopefully, eventually, we'll have a list of the best 9 shows to watch. And so, we are at the end again. I hope you liked it and will subscribe. Don't forget to tell me down in the comments if you're interested in Yuri on Ice. And I'll see you in the next video.
Hey, boogie.